Hi guys, Fernandes Lembo on the grid. You know, John, if people seeing if we look less pasty than we usually do, it's because we've been out at spring training. You know?
Well, for one day.
For one day, but this is not on the diamond, this is on the grid.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
Let's go to something you've been reporting on, that you will, boys soccer.
Sure.
Lakewood Ranch, 20-2, won, first time making the championship game.
Yeah, they were a Final Four team in 2014,
right.
but last week they beat Sanford Seminole in a great game, beat them 4-3. And yeah, on Saturday they play for their first state championship in DeLand, Speck Martin Stadium, against Cypress Bay out of Weston. Weston, they've won 4 state titles in since 2011, so they're a bit of a power.
Right.
But Lakewood Ranch is playing well, and this is the furthest they've gone. So let's see if they can complete the journey, win a state championship.
I read your story. They're first in 5A and 10th in the nation.
Yeah.
I read your story. Pablo Vargas ended up being integral. I guess he was at a yellow card, and you're going to be having a story. What about him?
Well, yeah, the story's going to run either, I think maybe Friday or Saturday.
Right.
Just about his story, and I don't want to, give too much away.
Sure, right. But tout it too much.
He and his family came to this country a few years ago, and now he's a leading scorer. He has I think he's like a 3.4 GPA. Takes all AP courses, so it's a real good story. He's a good kid,
right?
And he's a big part of that attack for Lakewood Ranch. They're so deep; they have a lot of guys up front, a lot of speed. They play very well defensively. Vito Bavaro, the head coach at the beginning of the season, said, if we're going to do anything big, this is the year. And he's right. They're playing for a state title on Saturday.
You know, you may have covered this team in past years. I really haven't. 20-2, this is the first time here. Have they not been a force up to now? And this year they have...
They've been compelled. They've won 5 straight district championships, so it's not like they've been...
come out of nowhere.
Right. I mean, they've always fielded a competitive team, but this is the best team they've had. In fact, like I said, they went to the Final Four in 2014. They hadn't won a regional game since then. The last 2 years have been knocked out at home in the first round of the regionals. So winning that first round game, I think, kind of lessened some of the tension a little bit. But Lakewood Ranch soccer, boys and girls, is always competitive. They always feel a competitive team. They're always playing for the district title, or at least seems like they are. But this team has just been a notch above those other teams.
And Bradenton is having not just them, but Braden Christian, 28-1.
Yes, the girls team, yeah.
They're advancing. I just checked out the stats of this team. They've scored 1,700 points. They've allowed 888. They're outscoring their opponents 2-1.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance? I mean, it's just outstanding season.
Right, yeah, and they play Tuesday night, Lakeland Center, against Tampa Carrollwood Day in the state semifinal. Second straight year BCS has been there. The boys team played for the state championship last year.
Right.
Again, BCS, kind of a resurgence for the boys and girls teams the last couple seasons. We'll see if they can complete their mission. They've won a state title in the past under Jim Van Til.
Right.
So let's see if they can hang another banner on the wall there in the gym.
I went back on Max Preps to look back at their past records.
Yeah.
It's been a while,
it has
right?
been, yeah.
I mean, this team is clearly the best one they've had in quite a few years.
Yeah, I think they were a Final Four team a few years ago. One of the last years Jim Van Til was coaching. I think last season they were knocked out of the district semifinals.
Were they in 2A last year? Now they're back in 3A?
Yeah, I think last year they lost to Sarasota Christian in the semis of the districts. They didn't make regional last year. So, yeah, this is definitely a big step forward for Coach Hostetler and that team. And again, BCS, the great thing about BCS, remember last year with the boys, their traveling fan contingent was humongous at the Lakeland Center. And I'm sure it'll be that crazy on Tuesday. I think they're the evening game on Tuesday. I think the session starts at like 6 for the 2 games. So, gives people some time to get up there. And, it should be a lot of fun.
We wish we could report on winners all the time, but we had some teams go down last night.
Yeah.
You were at St. Pete Lakewood at Bayshore.
Right.
47 turnovers. I read your story. I guess this problem has plagued them all year. And 47 turnovers. Did they manage to get the ball above center court? 47 turnovers?
It was rough. I mean, Lakewood played that very, very swarming press, like I mentioned, and Bayshore really had no answer for it. But, the silver lining is first time Bayshore's ever been this far. They won a regional game for the first time. Lakewood beat them all 4 times this season. They're in their same district, so they were kind of a big, couldn't get over that hump. But Jamal Sanders, the head coach, was really pleased with the team this year, and they lose 4/5 of their starting 5. That's going to be a bit of a blow. But, maybe they started some little special there at Bayshore. And, again, not the ending they wanted, but to get this far for the first time, it's something you're going to remember and look at.
And obviously St. Pete Lakewood now going on to meet Tampa Robinson.
Who beat Booker.
That beat Booker.
Right.
Collects a Foster 34 points, but I wasn't at the game, obviously, but a team effort was able to overcome an individual great performance.
Yeah, and I saw Booker a few times this year, and the thing that I like about Booker is the way they play defense.
Right.
So they gave that many points. But Robinson's always been a pretty good team. They had a really good record coming in. So, again, I think Booker and Bayshore, to me, went as far as they could have went. Obviously, Lakewood Ranch, maybe a different story.
Well, that was a nice segue. Right. I mean, talk about that. We touted them here a lot. They missed 2 starters. LaDacia Williams
fouls out.
27 points.
But she fouled out.
She fouled out, but just shorthanded, I guess. Talk about that game a
And
little
Reed
bit.
and Dennis Mavisoli's story, not good from the free throw line.
Right.
You lose a game in overtime and you don't shoot well from the free throw line, it's going to come back and bite you. So, but that's the fragility of sports. You know, if someone goes down at the wrong time.
I like that word. I don't think you've
you.
ever used that word before. Fragility?
Yes.
I
Well,
like that.
I'm a thesaurus. But I mean, that's the thing about sports. I mean, someone gets hurt at the wrong time or goes down at the wrong time or you just don't shoot well from the free throw line. And Lakewood Ranch obviously had high hopes. They went to the state championship game last year, brought a lot of the same girls back, but it's tough. I mean, not to use a basketball pun, but sometimes a ball doesn't always bounce your way, and
even though it's round.
Right? Not fair, and that's what.
Actually, if you're Lakewood Ranch, you had the lead with 7 seconds to go, so you're thinking we're going to win this game despite being shorthanded. And ended up losing.
And again, it's a tough pill to swallow for obviously the last game for LaDacia Williams, and Tina Hadley said great career LaDacia had here. She's going to South Carolina, so looking forward to seeing how she does there. But obviously a bit of a surprise. But like you said, some injuries, not shooting well from the free throw line. It just seemed that things weren't really on Lakewood Ranch's side last night, playing in Naples, and we'll see what Gulf Coast can do. That's 2 teams of ours they knocked out Sarasota and Lakewood Ranch. So let's see if they can keep playing.
Miss Williams finishes with over 1,900 points, over 1,000 rebounds. Sounds like my high school stats.
Mine too.
When I was playing on JV teams. But actually Thursday night, the boys are in action. We got 9 local teams in action. Obviously 9A Phillips at Riverview and
I'll be there.
Can you break down? I mean, any of these teams favored more than others to advance out of here?
Well, I think Riverview will win. Obviously, Lakewood Ranch has the big. They haven't lost to a team in Florida this year. So I think they're a team you'll be looking at. So, I think it should be a lot of fun. Obviously, Riverview starts its quest back to a state championship game. They're home tomorrow night. I'll be there, like I said. So I'm sure there'll be a big crowd there. They always do well with their fan support and their student section. So, it begins. But I think Lakewood Ranch and Riverview, the 2 teams I'm kind of zeroing in on who could do something special.
8A and 7A, this could end up being Charlotte and Port Charlotte again.
Could see the game in the second round.
And Ranch against one of the local teams, either Palmetto or Northport at this point. We kind of local schools involved.
Yeah, we could see that. That'd be. I think if Ranch wins, they do play a local school because so that'd be interesting. And I think the Charlotte-Port Charlotte game is going to be fun if they play again because obviously Charlotte won the regular season meetings and Port Charlotte won the district championship game. So it'd be kind of cool to see them play again in the second round of regional. So I mean the second round could be more fun than the first round if things happen that we think is going to happen.
Florida Athletic Coach Association. We mentioned Riverview. AJ Caldwell, MVP. Jeremy Schiller, Coach of the Year.
Right, yeah.
Just the honors continue to pour in, and you can see all of these on HT Preps, right?
Yeah.
HTPreps.com?
Yeah, we have all that stuff. And, Jeremy Schiller has done a tremendous job over at Lakewood Ranch. When he got there, they hadn't won a regional playoff game yet. And last year, they played for the regional title at St. Pete High. I was there at the craziest atmosphere I've ever seen at a high school sporting event over at St. Pete High. I mean, people just kept filing in, and it was nuts. So if they play again, I think the game will be at Lakewood Ranch, which could benefit Ranch. But and obviously AJ had a great year for the Riverview, and good to see them recognized. So and let's not forget wrestling starts.
Yeah,
we have district wrestling starting this weekend. Venice will host. Palm Harbor will host a lot of our local schools, and then so that's the beginning of the wrestling postseason where it gets really fun.
We talk about great environments. I was up on the campus of St. Stephen's watching Out of Door last week, who plays, led by Marcus Liberty. You want to talk about a great environment, Hoagland Arena.
Yeah,
I mean that place. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have.
It's a great arena, great loud setting. Talk about a great
setting
like that.
It's a smaller gym, kind of like Braden Christian's gym, so it doesn't take a lot of people to pack them in, and the sound really has no place to go. So you get a good crowd in there that's loud. It is a good atmosphere.
Running out of time. Hopefully next week we'll talk about wrestling. We talk about maybe Lakewood Ranch, Braden Christian doing great things.
Yeah.
And some of our local boys teams moving on.
Yep. Should be fun.
Okay, great. So for John Lemble and Doug Fernandes, we'll see you next week on the Grid.